College algebra breaks more students than any other math class. Not because they're incapable, but because the system never taught them how to think. Mac 1105 is not about numbers. It is about control, logic, and the systems that quietly decide who succeeds and who falls behind. This is Cognify 365. Let's talk about why college algebra scares so many people. Mac 1105, College Algebra, is the class that breaks more students than any other. It is about control, logic, and the systems that quietly decide who succeeds and who falls behind. This is Cognify 365. Let's talk about why college algebra scares so many people. This video will explore equations, balance, and the math of life, brought to you by Cognify 365. We are exploring equations, balance, and the math of life. Our theme is finding balance, the algebra of life. Here is a quote to start. Life is like algebra, you solve for what's missing. Remember this quote as we continue our discussion on finding balance. Life is like algebra, you solve for what's missing. Reflecting on this, I realized that from my finances to my faith, I have been solving for balance all my life. This reflection on balance applies to many aspects of life, as we are all solving for balance throughout our lives. The purpose of algebra is clear. It teaches logical thinking, structure, and problem solving. Algebra is vital because it imparts logical thinking, structure, and essential problem-solving skills. Through my experience, algebra reminded me that every problem has a process, even when life's numbers don't seem to add up. It is important to remember that every problem has a process, as algebra reminds us, even when life presents challenges. Let's discuss variables and unknowns. In algebra, x represents the unknown, what we search for. The variable x in algebra symbolizes the unknown quantity we are trying to find and solve for. Reflecting on variables and unknowns, in my own life, x was purpose. I spent years solving for it through work, struggle, and self-discovery. The search for our life's x, our purpose, often requires work, struggle, and self-discovery to solve. Equations and balance are critical. Both sides must stay equal, representing action and reaction, or gain and loss. Equations demonstrate that both sides must maintain equality, illustrating the balance between action and reaction, gain and loss. For our reflection on equations and balance, consider this. Health, faith, and relationships all follow that same rule. Imbalance brings breakdown. Just like an equation, health, faith, and relationships require balance. Imbalance inevitably leads to breakdown. Functions and patterns explain relationships. They describe how one thing affects another. Functions illustrate the connections and causality between different elements or variables. In my life's reflection on functions and patterns, my experiences showed me how pain, discipline, and healing are connected equations. Reflecting on life, experiences reveal the connected equations between concepts like pain, discipline, and healing. Next is growth and change, specifically exponential thinking. Growth can be slow, then sudden, much like compounding effort. Exponential thinking shows that consistent effort eventually leads to sudden, massive growth, similar to compounding. My reflection on exponential thinking, fitness taught me that small, consistent reps turn into exponential results. The same principle applies to faith. Whether in fitness or faith, consistent, small steps lead to exponential, significant outcomes over time. Regarding mistakes and corrections, algebra allows for trial, error, and recalculation, a process we should embrace in life. Trial, error, and the ability to recalculate are fundamental to both algebra and personal growth. I've made errors in life, but I've learned to show my work, to own the process, not hide from it, in line with the concept of mistakes and corrections. It is valuable to own the process of our mistakes and corrections, rather than attempting to hide from the errors we make. We can think of solving for success as having a formula. Discipline plus faith plus persistence equals success. Success is achieved through a combination of discipline, faith, and persistence. My personal equation for solving for success is simple. Struggle plus structure equals strength. Every challenge is just another problem waiting to be solved. Structure applied to struggle creates strength, meaning every challenge is simply a problem we can solve. Let's address some myths about college algebra. It's not about speed, it's about thinking. Algebra is used in budgets, health stats, loans, and decision-making. Also remember that struggle does not equal failure. It is a myth that you need speed for math. The truth is, Algebra teaches valuable thinking skills used across many aspects of real life. Algebra has many real-world applications, including public health statistics, interest rates and loans, urban planning, healthcare dosage calculations, business profit and loss, and even hurricane modeling. From finances to forecasting, the principles of college algebra have direct and critical real-world applications in many fields. The perception of Mac 1105 as scary is based on common failure points. Students often memorize steps without understanding the why, and math anxiety can shut down reasoning. Other challenges include weak foundations from earlier math classes and struggling with word problems, which can feel like a foreign language. Factually, college algebra has one of the highest withdrawal and repeat rates in U.S. colleges. Many students don't fail because they're quote-quote bad at math. Instead, failure often occurs because algebra exposes gaps in logical thinking and confidence, which must be addressed.
College algebra doesn't measure intelligence. It measures preparation and who the system leaves behind. If this changed how you see Mac 1105, that's the point. Thanks for watching another Cognify 365 episode. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.